Hello, and welcome to SQLexplorer or SQLexplorer. In this video, we're going to do a little bit more with criteria and add a little bit more complicated criteria to our queries so we can filter the results we get a little bit more than we have been. So I'm going to go ahead and again start with the previous query that I made, and I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate it, and I'm going to call that criteria number 2. And as we remember from that previous video, we basically have a criteria on here where company name is greater than this parameter, and then we can change that value as needed. So we're going to go ahead and run that now. We see we get everything that's greater than Anderson, and I can go ahead and switch that back to something like less than E, and we'll go ahead and test that. So if I want to add additional criteria in FileMaker terms, we would just search on 2 fields, and it basically works the same way here. So I'm going to go back to search, and I'm going to add an additional field, company URL, and then I'm going to jump back to my review, and we see that we now have company name is less than question mark, and company URL is equal to question mark. And the way I'm going to do this here is I'm going to say greater than or equal to W, and that's the URL, and probably starts with www, and so that's what I'm searching for. So we go ahead and run that, and we only get this one result because that's basically the only place where both these things are true. If we expand this a little bit, we see we do get some more information. So again, it's nice having these parameters be dynamic. And if we look at this in our copy as calculation, we see that the arguments are separated by carriage returns. Not carriage returns, semicolons, and we can have as many as we want. It's a dynamic parameter that FileMaker's provided us with. And again, if we evaluate that, we get the same results here. So what if I want to do a new find request? Like I want to see everybody with a website who's less than L, but also want to see everybody who's greater than O. So I can do that in the same way I do a FileMaker request. So I'm going to go back to search, and we have this single request set up, and I'm going to go ahead and hit this new request button. And now I'm going to supply company name for this request, and we can navigate back and forth between our requests. And then we'll go back to review, and we see that basically each request is a separate OR clause within the where statement. And now we've got an additional parameter here, and basically parameters are done in the order they appear in the statement. So for the first question mark, this one. For the second question mark, this one. For the third question mark, this one. So we want this one to be everybody who's greater than the letter N. And now if we run that, boom. So it should skip, which it does. And we can go back and further refine this. Our second request, also adding URL there. And we'll go review. We actually have to scroll down here. We've got another parameter, and we're going to say greater than or equal to W here. We run that query, and these are the results we get. And again, let's look at that, how it'll look in FileMaker. And we see, again, our arguments are in the order that they appear here in the statement. So again, you'll replace these with fields or variables in your own file, and you should get a good sense of how parameters and where statements work in SQL and FileMaker by playing around with this. And go ahead and run it, and we get our results down there. So that's doing and or statements in FileMaker terms of additional fields and additional search requests. Thanks very much.